We are back to Super 16 millimeter. It was the needle and the spoon and a trip to the moon. I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it, so the little got more and more.
Well, hello, boys and girls.
Hi.
What a wonderful day it is today in our money-based economy. Well, sit back and relax and get ready for the guy who's about to ruin everything.
I'm puzzled. Are you really seriously suggesting that Jesus Christ was a mushroom?
Wait, Jesus was a mushroom Roberts.
Yes. You are dealing with a secret cult, a secret society.
Welcome to Waning Interest.
Welcome to the Waning Interest Podcast, number 113, May 13th, 2023. It's a lot of fucking threes, man. I'm starting to trip out on that, aren't you? Aren't you? What was that? Did you hear that clip? Why did it clip? That never clips. That's not supposed to clip. But anyway. The Babbling Dabbler, the smallest click on the internet, the pinball brain in your favorite machine. It's like a book or a diary, but not as stale or coherent. It's supposed to be diary first. I haven't said that in a week. That's what it is. From a more obviously mentally challenged Forrest Gump, but I like to think of myself once again like if Mikey and Mouth from the Goonies played a lot of bareback leapfrog, and then shwing, I appeared, and, the world was fucked. You're welcome. It's not my fault. I didn't do the fucking... Anyway, GNR, Skynyrd, had to open with that because I made this after I made this. Well, first I made this. Oh, sorry. For the audio folks, you got to look and you got to see the Give Me Back My Bullets, Give Me Back My Vase pick. And the Bang pick with Alan Collins and Gary Rosington, along with, and underneath, Izzy Stradlin and Slash from Guns N' Roses. Because of my thing with them, the similarities, which I went over in what was that, Whip 108, 110? I've forgotten already. Oh boy, have I done that many? Yeah, I think it's the one I came back, the one with the, 08 and 09. I think 09 I updated it a little bit. But yeah, so 108, that's got the, where I used the Second Helping album cover. Why now? Because it's late, and we have to. Because, well, it is quite the strip out there. Right there in that part of the road when you come around this bend, it is a nice landing strip. You just whoosh on anything, but I don't do it. Because I'm always afraid of a deer popping out going, hey, what's happening, man? And, that's not cool. But, that's why I have the little whistles on the Kate. I have a little whistle thing, the deer whistle thing, but I still don't trust it to blast, where there's nothing but woods and anything can pop out. I don't like that. I don't want to hit nothing. I don't want to hit nothing. I remember being with my stepsister and driving along, and we're talking, having a ball. She's singing to some tune, and we're laughing at some shit, and all of a sudden, a fucking dog pops out in the middle of the road. And we're not speeding or anything. Just all of a sudden, it was right there. And man, hated that. Poor girl. She was destroyed for a while. So was I. I've had a couple other stories, but I ain't going there. Ugh, but that's why I don't get a bike and fly. That's why, if it's like desert, like when there's nothing, there's not a whole, fuck yeah, man. Zoom. But when it's nice flat strip that's, I don't know, what is that, half a mile long? But it's nothing but woods on the side of it. No, I'm too scared of something. Just, hey, what's happening? And, then that would, I'd get hurt. And we don't want that, do we? Oh, did I tell you, not only we got GNR and Skynyrd, but we also got the Doors, of course. Jim's always over my shoulder. Yesterday was a Doors day. I painted 2 of them, and I fixed 1. Trinity. It's a cool Trinity, huh? Anyway, back to the Skynyrd thing. Well, originally it started where I made the Bang pick, the Alan Collins, Gary Rosington / Izzy pick, and I dropped it in the Skynyrd Facebook page or group, and oh man, it's got over 400 likes. A few people, a few comments, a good handful of comments, most of them good, but there's a few like, fuck GNR, they couldn't do anything, and / ripped Rosington off, and I'm like, man, I don't think he ripped him off, but he certainly, they borrowed from a little bit of everything. They borrowed from, that was the thing about Guns N' Roses, they were a little bit of everything, but they certainly didn't sound like fucking Skynyrd, but their stories are so cool to me. Like I've gone over, like I said before, if you haven't seen or listened to 108 or 109, where a little bit of it in there with like, knowing a bunch of them knowing each other since they were kids. Like Steven and Slash knew each other since they were little kids and started playing together. Axl and Izzy back in Indiana played a little bit together and knew each other. And then it, formulates and, but you got a guitarist and a drummer and they first start together, Bob Burns, and Gary and Alan and that both had Hell House. I don't know. And then, like I said, especially with the, I never noticed until I went back when I did my dive doing the survivors of the crash stuff and going through that stuff. And I went, oh, that's right. They give me back my bullets. That's the one that was where the pick that's like, oh, that's the sort of a /ish hat, but it's obviously Rosington was way before because this was 77. I'm sorry, 76 or 75. Shit, no, 76. Yeah, and then Street Survivors was 77. Right? Yeah, Nothing Fancy was before. Right. Anyway. But then also, like, wait, because there's so many different picks of Skynyrd, and now also with Guns N' Roses, with different band members and stuff. But I was like, I know there's one that's just that's similar, that they're both, it's very similar where it's all the same number of people. And there it is. It was the inside picture from Use Your Illusion with the Guns N' Roses, where they added Dizzy keyboards, and the funny thing, both bass players, both Duff and Leon are wearing vests. I love that. Leon's wearing shades, and Duff's around his neck and hanging on a chain. Billy Powell's holding a Budweiser. Slash has got a bottle of fucking Jack with him. Both Axl and Ronnie are wearing hats, similar, just different color. Axl's is white. They're both sort of wearing. It's not like they copied or anything. That's not it. It's just these little funny things that I notice, because maybe it's either because I'm like I said, mentally challenged, or because I'm a tripper, or both. I'll go with both. So I know you would too. But anyway, I finally found that. Finally realized, oh, that's the pick. That's the pick that's similar. The Give Me Back My Bullets album cover and the inside of Use Your Illusion pick. Because the same number of folks, because they only had 2 guitarists with Skynyrd at the time, because Ed King had left and they hadn't found Steve Gaines yet. But then with Gaines reminds me of Robin Fink. So it'd be like if Robin Fink joined Guns N' Roses with Slash and Izzy. You're still there. That would be really cool, because you look at Steve, he's got the long thing. Because Robin's had a bunch of different looks through the years, from 9 Inch Nails to GNR and his solo stuff and other things. But when he was in that mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s with GNR when I saw them at it's not there anymore. The Universal Music Amphitheater with Christina and Sebastian Bach open. Anyway, in those days, was Fink there yet? Yeah, it was Fink. Yeah, it wasn't DJ Ashby yet. Right? I was drunk. Whatever. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't drunk because I was in that 5-year period where I didn't drink from 05 to 2010. No, I wasn't drunk. I was really stoned. Yeah, that's where I turned into a reefer addict. What? Where? Why is Gamora? We just found out, didn't we? Guardians 3. You know, whoa, mixed reviews, but boom, lots of money. It's like really shitty, but still the best thing that MCU's put out in a few years since Endgame, which is still an ass movie. Go back. There's a whip all about Endgame being, obviously, an ass movie. All the ass references. Oh, Jesus Christ. And they're all through the MCU, man. It's just, guys, when you start to point it out, I used to think that people pointing that shit out constantly were weird. Now I'm the one doing it. I remember when I had a coworker who was trying to put forth this whole thing about the Gatorade bottles being you know, like a symbol of a cock. I was like, what? And then he did it in a shadow, kind of like how I've done with, you know, Mary Poppins with the mushroom that she's flying with. It's the umbrellas. I'm like, maybe he's got a point. Besides, anyway, what was I saying? Shit, I got lost. I'm just noticing these funky fucking things, these just little things. But that pick was where I finally realized, oh, that's the one. Those are the two that I realized. You know, notice, you know, Matt Sorum and Artemis both. No, they don't both have beards. Don't you wonder, what does Artemis look like without a beard? I don't think I've ever seen him without a beard, without super long fucking beard, that crazy bastard who, oh, I felt bad. Oh, that reminds me, wasn't going to say this. Well, it wasn't on the list. Wasn't on the blacklist. Little hint to a future guest. It's not James Spader. What was I saying? Shit, fuck, Holmes, that weed is good. No, a dude posted in that same Skynyrd group a thing that he got signed in '95 by Artemis Pyle, and I couldn't help it. And he met him, he said, and I couldn't help but comment, hey, did you ask him why he always retells the crash story, that he went off by himself to get help and forgets to mention Ken Peden and Mark Frank were with him? And he put it in his fucking movie where he's all by himself. You ask him about that, or about why he always says he got shot when he didn't. It was just a question. Well, I didn't. Obviously, it didn't sound like the way I just said it, but I just asked. Did you ask him? That's how it obviously read. And so many people were like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that," and all these things they didn't know about. They don't know those other names, which is why I did Whip 108. To mention the survivors, the forgotten survivors. There was only like 5-6 left. Hint to another future guest. There's something in July happening in Is it Jacksonville? I think it's happening in Jacksonville. I got to look up anyway, it's July 29th. There's a thing, a benefit where some bands are going to be playing some stuff, and it's for the survivor, the soul survivors. The Soul Street survivers, the ones that are left that have been forgotten, not band members. None of them are left now, right? Yeah, none of them are left, besides Artemis. And you got Craig Reed, who's, like I've said before, I talked about the Stone Roadie show. Look that up on the YouTubes. His channel is all about raising money for the other survivors that are still left, not for him. He doesn't watch it. It's fun. Here's good Skynyrd stories, and but he doesn't. He's doing it just for the other ones because he's fine. He doesn't need anything. He's all set. Not that he's loaded, but he doesn't need anything, and He doesn't need what the other folks that are still left need, who are. It's fucking crazy how much money that corporation of Skynyrd makes, and they can't just go. Pfft. I mean, just not like 1,000 a show, 2,000 a show to spread between the, just for those forgotten, because they're not rich people, and it's fucking crazy. Go into the story, go in deeper, and it's there. I've told you, Stone Roadie Show, and you'll find out a lot. Where was I? When was I? Because Gomorrah. Oh, Guardians. That's where I was at for a second. Yeah. MCU. Endgame. Yeah, that's right. Endgame. I mean, you got the fucking in Ragnarok. You got the devil's anus. And I haven't seen Guardians 3 yet, but apparently there's some kind of fucking world that looks like a fucking colon. I don't know. It's fucking nuts. Did I tell you that I lost my voice last week after recording Whip 112 with James Gesso? That was a blast. If you haven't seen that yet or listened, I think it's a better listen because there's nothing much for visual. That's fine to watch or whatever. But after I went through it for clips on the video, I went ahead and because I was like, I haven't listened to just the audio in a while, and what is it? Because I'm so sick of the video having to worry about the video part since I brought it up in Whip 80 when I started back up. I went ahead and hit play, and I was just gonna listen to a bit of it, but I was just like, God damn, I like the audio version way better, and it was just it's such a oh God. James just elevated, I purposely am, it's a goofball fucking podcast. I'm part comedian, part actor, I'm just a fucking goofball. And this is my creative outlet. It's all I got. That's all I do now. With all the other stuff I've done before. But it was nice to have 90 minutes of it 90 minutes of it elevated with the shit that he brought with his brain. And the stuff that he knows. And he's been doing Adventures of the Mind for a bunch of years. I watched one today, or listened to one today about the dude, was it one? No, it was 48. Adventures of the Mind 48. Listen to this, or watch it, or listen to this with this dude. I can't remember his name, but dude has done 30 grams? Yeah, first it was all about, he's asking, James didn't know. He's like, yeah, I want to talk to you about this 30-gram trips you've been doing. 30 grams. What? 30 fucking grams. That's nuts. Oh, I got to go back to the Skynyrd thing. That's what it was. But then the guy goes, oh, well, actually, now I'm doing 40. I just did 40 a couple times. Well, and I was thinking, mate, this guy's got to be full of shit. But no, the way he was describing it and the quantum realm shit that he's going, 7 is the most I've ever done. And almost 7, because I did let Tim have, a couple extra stems. Oh, no, an extra stem a cap, maybe something like that. Because right, I'm full. I don't know if I can even chew anymore. But anyway, I had plenty, and I've done that since. But wow, 30, and then 40, and then. But I can understand from doing what I've done, the way he was talking. It's not bull. He wasn't bullshitting. This guy has done some shit. Wow, it's incredible. It was insane. So check out Jesso's podcast, Adventures Through the Mind. Some really cool shit. And I was, like I said, very happy how he elevated the intelligence of the whip. It was nice. Now we're back to the goofball twat I am. Hee-haw! It's all me, bitches. No, seriously, I do have a couple of really nice guests lined up. It's gonna be fun. Oh, but the Skynyrd thing. So, the band, let's see, the Artemis Pyle guy. Oh, so a few people jumped on me. Also, one guy called me a dick. I'm like, what am I a dick for? I just asked to. Oh, it was 2 people. One called me a dick, and I replied with, love you too, baby. And a lady replied saying, oh, sorry about people shitting on your post to him. I'm like, I didn't and then I replied, I didn't shit on it. I just asked a question. Did you ask him these questions? Because people are tired of him lying, and I'm tired of people not understanding what happened. I didn't know for a while. I mean, but I've known. I met the guy myself in '97, and I was right there listening to him fucking tell Ron about getting shot. So I believed it. It didn't happen because back then didn't have couldn't do the homework that you can do now. Anyway, and then it was about the bang pick, because the bang pick, some people were like, yeah, fuck that shit, fuck that. But most, I was like, wow, it got over 400 likes. I had to turn off, I think it was like right around 250, I turned off the fucking notifications. But then for some reason they would pop back in every 50 or so. Again, I turned off the notifications for this. Anyway, excuse me. Woo! What? When? She's right there. Now she's a Ravager. So, and I didn't even see the movie yet. So, so then I dropped in after this, the bang pick, which I thought was pretty cool. Could have made it a little better. I could have been a little more creative, but I did it on a whim. What? I don't know. So then when I realized this one, I went, oh my God, did I drop that one? It hasn't gotten as many likes, but I thought it was better because it's fucking funnier. Give me back my vase. Get it? I think it's fucking funny. I thought, well, it did get a laugh. That's the thing, though, when I dropped it in there, I'm like, the first, like, I don't know how, it's got almost 100 likes, I think. And the first bunch, for 6 or 7, were all ha-has. I'm like, yeah, this is working out like I want. And then all of a sudden, it just became loves and likes. I'm like, this is funny. Stop with the likes and hit the ha-ha. Don't be lazy with your finger. Something my ex-wife used to say. So what? She's coming up here in a bit. She never said that. She always said, bing, good job. So, bing. That's not funny. So it is. So, that's the skin. Is that where I was getting at? Is that all? The Skynyrd thing with the pics and dropping those in. Then I decided, oh, well, I might as well make this, because I'm going to babble about it. I might as well make that the fucking thumbnail. Because it is funny. I think it's fucking, give me back my vase. Give me back my bullet guns. It's like they stole, God damn it, I think it's funny. All right, what's what over here? What is what over here? Is this? I want to see if this is this. Is this? Yeah, that's that. Wait a minute. Is it this? Seriously, is it really this? Okay. Is this that? Oh, that's just a picture. I just wanted to make sure. Because, see, on the StreamYard thing, when you pull up your stuff, you have pictures, and you've got everything named, right? When you make the stuff. Well, when you pull up the slides, you have to make them into PDFs, the pictures. When you pull them up, it keeps their name that you named them. And you see it, and you can tell, and the picture's there. But when you have video, all the video, you have to make sure you remember what you got if you got a bunch of them lined up, because it just fucking puts them on. They all look the same. So you can't, you're like, all right, which, is that the right thing? Because I know I'm going to play that, and I know I'm going to play that later. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Do you? What? When? Why is Gomorrah? That timed out pretty good. And see, it times out even better. That's why I went back to the Super 16mm look, because that fucking nice camera that I got slowed down. It just twisted things up, and I didn't like the look. It was fine audio-wise, sort of, depending on the drops, and it's delayed everything. And I don't like these delays, right? I don't like, because I'm a premature ejaculator. So what? When? Shh, don't do that again. All right. Did I tell you I lost my voice after Whip 12? Whip 112? Thinking of doing some vocalist stuff, or as I've said before, yelling in key if I'm lucky. See, that's a lot of he's. Kind of like all these threes tonight. See what I'm saying? When? Why? Because that's what I said. Never to do that again. Ping tong. Slong. What? So I was like, wow, that was like that was like a proud moment at Whip 112 after I went through and grabbed those clips and watched it to make sure that I didn't sound like a dipshit with that brain of his. I think it was a fucking lovely, funny, informative 90 minutes. It didn't feel like 90 minutes. I fucking one of my proudest moments. Mostly because I do half the talking. Oh man, it's so nice. And I hope if anybody doesn't enjoy it, fuck you. That's where it goes, right there, Mr. Poopy Pants. What? So then I was getting ready, and I had all these songs, and when you're singing along, you try to make sure. I have this thing where I try too hard to sound like the real thing, not like on this podcast, but to try to mimic. And this squeeze where I'm like, this is me, and then do the mimic, and then I end up pushing too hard a lot of things, and then all fucking 5-6 songs in, all of a sudden, what? Am I losing my voice? Nah, have another drink. I only drink when I record. And this was after I recorded. So everything was, same day. It's okay. So what if it was 2 a.m? No, it wasn't, because we recorded during the day. You can tell it was during the day. It wasn't that late. Anyway, boy, I woke up and I had to do a bunch of talking. I forgot I had to do a bunch of talking with some other people, with some not meetings, but just stuff that was planned to talk. And I tried to talk, and I was getting so angry that at my voice, I almost hurt myself punching a wall. But I went, wait, I painted that, and that's my wall. I ain't fucking that up. Don't do that. And plus, your hand already hurts from. We won't say. Where's my doob? So anyway, but it kept me from being able to record with a guest that will be in the future, because they were good to go, and I would have been good to go, but I couldn't. And this, oh man, it was just so annoying. It was so annoying. Kind of, I know my voice is already annoying. No, it's not. It is one sexy motherfucker, and that's one I know. I get the emails about how wet it makes you, and not to talk like this so much because, I hear the screams. I hear the screams. I hear the thump. I hear the booms. Do you? Yeah, me. What? In a world where everything was whispered. Damn, I should have hit Lisa. But yeah. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. I said the doors thing. Yeah. Yesterday. Painted 2 doors. And fixed another. Boy, don't you hate those doors that don't stay open? I mean, stay where they're supposed to stay, where you want them, and they just kind of close. Oh, man, I can't stand that. Well, the secret, pop out the top hinge, pin, and just kind of go into get somewhere where you won't hurt the floor or wherever. You can whack it, bend it a little bit, stick it back in, boom, done. Beautiful thing. God, I love YouTube. I'd already known it, but I'd forgotten exactly. And it was so funny when I looked it up how to do that. First fucking video this guy's talking about pulling the hinges, the whole hinge out and putting something behind the hinge. I'm like, wait a minute. And then the next fucking 12 were all about just popping out that pin, that top pin, and bending it a little bit, putting it back in, and it always worked. It was crazy. Never go with the first search. If you look at my shorts on the YouTubes, and you might have already seen it. I told the story about Hannaford, going to Hannaford. I had a gift card, And as the cashier's punching it in, punching the numbers in or whatever, and the bagger, she says, oh, she notices, and oh, wish we got some of those, being the workers here. I went, you guys should get at least $50 fucking of these things a month, at least. Lady behind me says, yeah, totally. Lady behind her says the same thing. And then the cashier starts talking about how, and this new thing about the government trying to take, take more of this from us, or I can't remember exactly what she said. And I went, oh, those guys that those people that screw us every day, both left and right, that we fight, that make us fight each other, get us, divide and conquer. Yeah, that's why we need a new system. We need a new system, because that shouldn't happen at all. No, that's crap. She says, yeah. Bagger says, yeah. The two ladies again, yeah. And I was like, ooh, I might premature-ish. It was a nice way to walk out of fucking Hannaford. 5 people agree we need a new fucking system, because this one sucks a fucking bag of dicks that are full of gonorrhea and syphilis. That's like, what was it, gonorrhea or syphilis? I can't remember when I was a kid. Like some adult said something about, you don't want that. And I went, why? Have you had it? And they said, yeah, a long time ago. Wow, what's it like? Well, it's like taking a piss and somebody's pulling barbed wire through your dick. I went, whoa! We don't want that now, do we, sisters? Whoopsh, whoopsh. Rubbers? Right. You know what fixes it, really? Vasectomy. You're immune to everything when you get. I'm totally joking. Totally fucking joking. That's a joke. Tube use and everybody else's. That's a joke. But I think it does help with some things. I can't remember. Just popped into my head. Vasectomies always pop into my head. As I'm talking, I always have this thought of, being between a dude's legs and fucking snip his taint. Ouch. It just pops into your head all the time. Aren't you the same way? Oh, that's the other fuck. Oh, that's the one I forgot to pick up. I was just going through my notes, and I just realized there was a pic that I didn't pull in that I wanted to, because it's, it's just, where is it? Ooh, where is it? I don't know. I don't remember what the hell the name of it is. I know I made a PDF. I know I did this. The bowling pic. Where is it? Where is it? I know I did it. Why isn't it not here? Oh, right there, you stupid son of a bitch. Is it going in? What about the picture? Shut up, you fucking dolt. There it is. Man, watching the bowling, when that was a dream a long time ago. My dad was a pro, had a pro shop years when I was growing up. I grew up in bowling centers. Bowling's part of my life. Anyway, I am so fucking sick of two-handed bowlers. So, I don't know what I can't remember which one it was just a week ago or so. Anyway, just happy that E.J. Tackett won, and just so tired. So I did this thing where I wrote that I put up a meme, I guess you call it. Not really a meme. It's just, instead of just writing out a post, I did it to where it's like a pic. So anyway, I don't give a shit about how many titles, awards you have if you're a dude that bowls with two fucking hands. Anyone that says you're one of the best ever are either lying or seriously ignorant, where medication is needed. My buddy Brandon thought it was funny. Brandon owns three pro shops. Brandon and I won a money league with 2 other guys. We were the only team in the top 4 where nobody all season had thrown a 300. Each of us threw 279 on the team. I think Brandon also shot 290 once and had a couple of 299s, but none of us had threes. Or none of us shot 800 all season either. Brandon came close a few times. But anyway, Brandon, I am so sick of it, man. They need to have their own thing. The two-handed bowlers need to have their own fucking league. That's it. You have to do that. It's because it's like, it's almost like trans shit. It's almost like dudes fucking splitting and stuffing their dicks so they can go beat the shit out of women in MMA as a woman, or swimming. Well, it's almost like that. It's just too much. It's like when Pee Wee soccer. I remember it was me and this other kid, and they actually took him out of the league, and they were talking about I might be too good for this thing, and they had to put me up, even though for the age, and I had to, that happens. That kid, that one kid, we played against each other. I still remember that shit. I had to play goalie a bunch too. Anyway, and I scored. Anyway, long time ago. But they had to take this kid out. Same kind of thing. There's just too much. It's not. It's just ugh. The power is too much, and it's making people that not even want to bother trying to compete because it's just too much you have to overcome. You have to be super. It's fucking great. I cannot stand the two-handed bowling, and it's nothing personal. But I don't like Belmo. I can't stand Jason Belmonte, and I fucking love Australia, obviously, and I usually love. I can't stand him. I can't stand how he does the boom thing. If you're gonna do the boom thing when you win a game on TV against one, do it to the fucking pins. Do it to the fucking rack. Don't turn around to the dude you're bowling. Dude, that's just so fucking cunty. It's cunty. I can't stand it. I don't know how the other guys put up with it. I still love the thing when you get Sean Rash from years ago and he called him a bottle bitch. This Belmonte used to take his fucking bottles while you were bowling against him. He'd fucking crackle his water bottle. That's why they don't have water bottles anymore. Sean Rash on TV. You bottle bitch, take that. Sean Rash, he really hated him. And he didn't like the two-handed bowling. It's fucking stupid. A man. I understand the ladies want to do it in there. I don't know. The only ladies that I know that bowl two-hand are some college girls. I don't know of any professional ladies. I watch the professional ladies as well. None of them use two hands, and I'd be okay with them doing it because they could use a little bit of power. But the balls have a ton of power now. That's why they have to. That's why every bowler has so many. Jesus Christ! Before I left California, when I got back into bowling, I only wanted to have two. I just wanted one. I'm only bowling a couple leagues. I only want a spare ball and one other ball. That's all. I ended up fucking giving away 5. Anyway. I fucking hate two-handed bowling. Unless you're going to have your own league. It's the two-handers over here. It's the real bowlers. The ones that use the one hand, that is the traditional, the correct way. They can still rev it the fuck up. Do it right. God. And if you watch, Jimmy Keith is dead. So, but if you look, you can look up video of Jimmy Keith, Keeth, Keeth. He passed away about a decade ago. But if you watch video of him, that's similar to how I bowled with a little more stretch. Like if you watch him and you watch Pete Weber, kind of like a combo of that. Because I used to, at one point, I cupped it. But I still only used one fucking hand, but I cupped it like Jimmy. But I didn't throw it nearly as hard as Jimmy. That's why I had to switch and stop cupping it, because when I went and bowled some regionals, not realizing how I was only used to bowling 3 to 4 games on a house shot, basically, and didn't realize that, that's right, there's 4 games that go on before you get up there, and then all of a sudden the lanes are just burn up, and there's no more oil, and I'm cupping it, revving it to shit, but I can't throw it as hard as Jimmy Keith, and I believe Jimmy Keith won one of those regionals that I bowled in. but I couldn't throw it that hard because I wasn't that strong. And I didn't throw it with speed. I threw it kind of more like a Bob Vespi, if you watch Bob Vespi, or anyway. So that's where I realized, Jesus Christ, I can't bowl like this on these burnt up lanes. I can't throw it that hard. That's why I ended up working with Randy Peterson, the color guy for, Hall of Famer color guy for the PBA for the last 20 something years. He had moved to Florida and bought the pro shop in Hollywood, Florida. And I was bowling there in the league and ended up bowling with him on his team. And he was sort of like my coach, fucking working me out with going back to the, from cupping it to, I was still, I didn't cup it, but I was behind it and under it. Anyway, it took a little time because it was like, oh, where'd my revs go? Because you lose a lot of revs when you don't cup it. It was like Jacob Buttriff. If you watch Jacob, I didn't look like him with the approach and the follow through, but the way he holds the ball and cups the ball like that, that's similar to how I used to do it. But I was a shitty fucking spare shooter. Still, that's why I never got past a fucking 210 average. All because of spare shooting. I was the dummy. Shot 270 once, where I threw the first 6 or 7, and I was swinging it so far, swinging it around the lane so much that I ended up the 7th or the 8th frame, first ball, threw it in the ditch. Then I spared it, and then went off the sheet. So technically it was a 300 when you take into account that at least every ball that I kept on the lane struck. Discounting that first shot in the 7th or 8th frame that went in the ditch. It wasn't on the lane, so that doesn't really count, right? Because I spared the motherfucker. So anyway. It's like, damn. I think I did that before I shot my first 300. I think that happened first. Yeah, when I first learned, because I literally went overnight from like 7 revs to 17, like not overnight, but like in an afternoon after I saw Bob Vespi bowl on the show once. I'm like, what the fuck? Just watching him sort of cup it and bend his elbow. I'm like, well, I didn't know you could do that kind of shit. But still, one arm, one hand, not 2 fucking hands, and you still got to control it. And I fucking raced to the bowling center, tried to do that shit. I'm like, oh, wow, I can actually roll that shit up on my own. Wow, I can do this. First few, well, then you got to learn to, wow. And then you needed oil. Sometimes there was no oil, and I was like, ooh, I'm a dipshit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Wait a minute. Holy shit, this is supposed to only be an hour, and I've been babbling about bowling. I knew I'd do this. Bowling is just so important to me. I ever tell you two-handers are fucking douchebags unless they have their own league. Nothing personal. I think, I think, I can't say his name. Anthony Simonson is amazing what he can do with a bowling ball. He's amazing because he can throw a backup, but it's always 2-hand shit. I've never seen him throw it with one hand. He's amazing. He should be the star of his own fucking league. He should not be bowling against people that only use one hand. That's why Anthony's always there, because of the power. That 2 hands, it's not right. It needs to fucking stop. It's why fucking Sean Rash made a big deal out of it years ago. It's why Pete Weber, they said it. And it's kind of ruining stuff. It's good on one hand, yeah, but it's not on another. Kyle Sherman should be farther along. These other guys, they should have their own fucking league. There's enough of them now. Have your own fucking league. Or be like Walter Ray and do both. Because now Walter Ray, when he got into the PBA 50, he started doing it just for fun. Just for something new. Yeah, go ahead. If you can do both, do both. But they should not be competing together. It's a steroid thing that I don't like. It's a trans thing that I don't like. It doesn't work. bullshit. Am I done yet? God, I fucking hope so. Do you hope I'm done? Yeah, at least we're not alone. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm not alone. Where's my lighter? What? When? Stop it. Whew. Aren't you glad that Guardians 3 is finally out and Wayne's gonna stop doing that stupid fucking Gamora bullshit? It's like a tick. It's like a tick. It's part of the mentally challenged thing. But it's charming. And it works. Until now. Now it's over. It's over because the Guardian. Hopefully, Jesus God. Oh, I don't even want to watch the fucking. I'm done. Ugh. What? Yeah, let's remove this so it doesn't get in the way. All right, and let's. Should we wait? No, I want to show the bang pic one more time because I think it's so sexy. I love that shit. Alan and fucking Gary together, and Izzy and Slash together, and oh, that's the other thing. Alan, it's obvious. A lot of people say it, and I believe, and I'm on their side. Alan was the heart of Skynyrd. Take nothing away from Gary. Alan was the heart of Skynyrd. And who was the heart of GNR? Izzy. Take Izzy, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I will not pay money to fucking see Guns N' Roses today. And I think it's, and there's the other thing when you go with the reunion shit, don't have the same drummer, and you got both drummers for Guns N' Roses could be out there. Both of you, you got Sorum and Adler both out there that can do it, but there's still nothing against Frank. Watch any video online of Guns N' Roses live from this since they've got back together. Listen to nothing against Frank, but I'm saying there's a difference. Listen to any song where Frank's playing, and then go and listen to the handful of times where Steven joined them on drums from St. Louis, L.A., was Brazil, and Nashville, I think. It's like 4 or 5. Where he plays My Michelle, I think. And I can't remember the other tune. Anyway, it's back. There's that swing that his drums. It's different. It's different and it's right. It's the Appetite drums. It's the Lies drums. Nothing against Matt Sorum, who was fucking awesome. But they could have him too. But whatever. It's not. And then Axl's voice. No thanks. Ain't doing it. The fucking guy who sings for Adler's band sounds better than Axl. Look it up on YouTube. Nothing against Axl, but he's doing his head. He's using his head voice. I guess is what you call him. The shit vocalist that I am. It's not. I won't pay money to fucking see that again. I did it once. I had a broken foot too. I went there on crutches. I went and saw GNR for the last time on crutches. I do it again for free. Who's got tickets for me? Come on. I'll promote you on the whip and you'll get like 6 views. Come on. Smallest click on the internet. That's us. We love it. Why? Because we like small. Why? Because it doesn't get too crazy. Because the bigger something gets, the shittier it gets, right? That's why Junkyard still rules. Never turned into a bloated piece of shit. What? Why is Guns N' Roses still on my head? That didn't make any sense. I meant in. Whip 111. Did you enjoy that one? If you got to go back and watch that, that's fun. The funnest thing is, it's mainly a picture. That was so fucked up. Before we started recording, I was working out the thing, trying to figure out, well, how do we get to 3? And I hit every button. I tried a new setting. I did all this different stuff to make it to where it's supposed to be, where it's like the 3 of us, 3 boxes. Couldn't do it. So when you watch it, it's just the three of us on the side, like the Brady Bunch, and the thumbnail is, and then I put up a bunch of different pictures that we talked about, but that was it. And then as soon as we stopped recording, and I hit a couple of buttons, all of a sudden, boom! It's just the three of us. That's what it was. Fucking silly. Couldn't. I tried this. I tried this 7 times before we recorded, and it just, and it did, and it what, and it when, and it where, it because. But my favorite parts is Susie sends me a picture, sends me a screenshot the next day, or was it, no, a few hours later, after we recorded, a screenshot of an ad for cock soup mix on Facebook. Just popped into her feed after we recorded, because there's a lot of cock talk. If you want to hear a lot of cock talk, then listen to Whip 111 or watch Whip 111, whichever you like. You'll see a lot of pics of Bob Gaynor if you watch it. Red Puddinhead, Juan and I's instructor in radio school. The three of us worked together, and plus Juan and I had gone to school together previously. Just for new whips, if this is your first whip, yeah, I'm promoting old whips, because they're worn in, and they're nice, and they're worked, and smells like leather. In a world where everything smelled like leather. But I thought that was funny, because if there's a clip on YouTube, there's a clip where of Whip 111 where Susie, it sounds like Juan says cock studio, big cock studio, but he's saying big talk studio. But so Susie, like, I was just wondering where the big cock studio was. It's fucking hilarious. And then there was a bunch of other cock talk in Whip 111, probably because Juan's uncut. I don't know. He's Cuban. Or is it Cuban? It's Cuba, not Cuba. It's Cuba. Right? I don't know. I meant to ask them. I forgot. Damn it. Oh, well. But in Whip 111, we mentioned I mentioned working at Bed Bath & Beyond in Studio City, California, when I first moved there before I got my gig at Premiere. And I was going to tell Juan, Carlos. It's a Carlos story, because Juan reminded me of Carlos. I told this story, I think, on an old whip, where when I first got the gig there, I was a stalker, so I spent a lot of time upstairs in the warehouse, and big boxes of pillows we'd have, of course, and then we'd take the pillows out of the boxes, and had racks for them on a wall, and would throw them all up there. And then we'd have these big empty boxes, and we'd break them down and take them downstairs to shipping and receiving. Well, Carlos and I used to have fun where after we'd empty a box, we decided, oh, dude, get in the box, because we could fit, because it's huge. Get in the box, close it up. I'll ask for help. So asking, we basically took turns on anybody else that was in that crew, which was like 7 of us. Each one got a turn to go, can you help me put this box up? It's got to go up in there. Can you help me pick it up? You get that in, I'll get this in. And as soon as, all right, on 3, when I say 3, we'll pick it up. And on 2, Juan would go, Carlos would go, and he'd bounce out of the fucking box and scare the shit out of whoever we grabbed to do it. It was hilarious until the last time we did it, which was an assistant manager. Dude had a mild heart attack. I'm not on camera right now because I'm not laughing. He apparently had, the guy was a pussy, and he's probably lying, but he said he actually had a mild heart attack. He fell backwards into and crushed in a couple other boxes that It was pillows and blankets and stuff and that shit. So it wasn't like hard boxes. That's what he found. It was like he fell in a goddamn beanbag. I watched it because I was on the other end watching. Dude, I had a fucking mild heart attack, you guys. Yeah, sure you did. You fucking California liar. But because of Juan, and I mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond, it reminded me of Carlos. Juan. Carlos used to make fun of me because I said that I told him that I went on our second anniversary because we were in California. Because speaking of Guns N' Roses, oh fuck, what is it? It was right there across the street from Hell House. They used to go there. It was a place. It was a Mexican place. Oh, I can hear Carlos saying it. He used to make fun of me the way I said it because he'd do it in the white thing because he was from Brazil. What is the name of that place? I gotta look it up while I keep talking. I almost said San Pedro. It's not San Pedro. What is it? Why didn't I put that on the damn notes? Luckily, I got to pee soon. How would we search this? Guns N' Roses, Hell House Restaurant. Hell House Mexican Restaurant. It's with a X, not a C, you dumb douche. Hey, double D. Fuck. Where is it? Oh, come on, just give me something. Give me something. I'm recording here. I can't say it. It's a place where they... Oh, this is terrible, the search. The terrible search. I can't figure it out. Maybe I'll do... Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll look it up while I'm peeing. And while I'm peeing, what was I going to look up? Oh, yeah, the Carlos... Oh, man. It's right there. It's on the Hollywood Boulevard. Or is it the Strip? Shit. It's right across the street from... Almost across the street from Guitar Center. I used to go there, but I took my ex-wife there. That's where we went for our second anniversary because she likes Mexican, and it was a sort of a historic sort of thing because of the Guns N' Roses stuff, and it was great. But then I went and told him, and man, I got to look it up. But so where were we time-wise? We're gonna go over. Son of a slut, because I got to pee, and I got a couple other things. So, and this is going to take 4 minutes, so this is actually perfect. On Whip 11, I also mentioned with Bob Gaynor, Juan and I's instructor at Miami Lakes Tech years ago, and Kimba's instructor, Doug Turkel, lots of people from the Miami market way back in the day in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And 2000s, I guess. Excuse. But we talked a lot about Bob. And I showed a pic of Bob being part of the crew that were my ex-wife and I, our show, Tara and Wayne, won best weekend non-music program. And we were up against Boog Shambi, who was on QAM at the time before he became an ESPN play-by-play guy, and they had three nominations, and we only had our one, and there was a couple other nominations, and it was all sports against us. It was like, I ain't gonna fucking win. Anyway, so after that, here's a little demo. It's 4 minutes. Now it's very quick clips that I created, kind of like just for little. This wasn't the thing that I submitted. That had to be an unedited 5 minutes where we won the thing and whoever chose us. And it was another market that chose us because I was part of the one next, I think it was the next year. I became part of a thing where you voted for different markets across the Southeast, I guess it was. Like I voted for a bunch of stuff for, I think it was North Carolina one year when they asked me to do that. That might have been before. I don't know. So it wasn't Bob's. They were just the thing of the Air Awards, like the Golden Globe people, whatever. But that small little thing for Miami, Fort Lauderdale. But the people who actually would listen to the material was in a totally different market. Whoever did that, I don't even know. It could have been South Carolina. It could have been Tallahassee. I don't know. Anyway, we fucking won. And this isn't the thing that was submitted. This is just a little highlight reel of every little you hear. It changes. It's a new thing. So these are like little setups and little jokes of mine where I made a little thing for myself to, when we weren't going to do the show because you had the CMT thing and I was looking for a gig as a sidekick. I put this little thing together, but it's a pretty good showcase of the show, and it talks about Ed, our producer. There's a joke about Ed in there. He's on the air and some of that. I'm just pre-selling it because I got to go make some water, Ms. Daisy. And so it doesn't, so you're like, wait, it keeps changing. It keeps changing, but it's just it's a demo. And most clips are, some are like only 5 seconds, some are like 10, 12 seconds, but they're all pretty short. But I think you'll enjoy to finally hear what I've talked about.
Just don't call him the boy wonder.
That was nice how you just picked your nose as you said that.
I'm scratching it.
Your finger went inside your nostril. That is an official pick.
It was only to the second knuckle.
Women in South Florida are not just about the relationship. A lot of times they're just about the lay.
Which is why I live here.
I think George Burns is dead.
Nah.
Yes, he is.
Nah.
George Burns is not alive.
I refuse to believe it.
Bob Hope is alive.
I refuse to believe that too.
Now, should I be tipping the line guy too? Because I don't tip him either.
You know what? Maybe if you did, the grass wouldn't be dead. When you sneeze, you just sometimes little
Incontinence.
I know, and I went to a urologist, and after having such a big baby, things get all messed up.
Well, that must really piss you off. Schnockered?
Mm-hmm.
I got schnockered on brewskis.
Yeah.
Buddy.
You making fun of me?
Not at all. Maybe it was a shark. Maybe it was Godzilla.
Godzilla lives in Japan.
Yeah, what am I saying? That's ridiculous. There's probably Mothra. There's plenty of women out there that love hair, love a hairy guy, love to lay in a blanket.
Name one.
Me.
Is it really all that exciting to see someone naked who's jamming out on a guitar? Is that really all that interesting?
Yes, because you never know when a little penis might get tangled up in a guitar string or something. And that would be really funny and righteous during a solo. Totally. At least for me. You don't have a receding hairline, do you, Ed? Or is it you just comb it forward? Because if you do, I can't see it.
No, I don't.
You will.
Unless you're 15 years old, you can pretty much, seeing a naked woman, is it that big of a deal? I mean,
yes.
That's what you do. You break the water, you have sex, and all of a sudden the baby says, I'm coming.
Why did it sound like he was about to break into a song?
So is that what happened?
Well, I do sing, but no, I'm not.
Thanks for the suggestion, Kevin, and congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck with the crack.
Feely men, who are always saying,
Like my Uncle Tommy?
who want you to grasp what they're saying.
Literally. Who in the hell wrote that? Bruce Valanche from Hollywood Squares?
I don't know, but they're all like that.
Because I'm guessing that they were going for humor.
I don't know. I think they're trying to... Actually, I thought they were trying to go for sensuality.
Didn't work.
Men in uniform stories.
Men in uniform. Yes.
It starts out... You know how they have, like, the first few words that are on the site?
Sieg Heil. It's always the guys that are covered in hair. It's always the guys that have 5 o'clock shadows at noon. It's always the guys with
The
back
Homer
hair.
Simpson kind of guys.
It's always the guy with a forest on their arm and their chest.
And in their ears.
And a jungle in their ears. It's always those guys that are horn dogs. It must have something to do with the follicles.
You haven't said anything about me,
Oh, about your fat ass?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you've been putting on the sympathy weight, which is very, very kind as well.
You're a heifer, I'm a steer.
You look like a grown-up Eddie Munster.
Oh, nice
He
insult.
does. Eddie
Nice
Munster was
shot.
cute. No, he does.
Oh, he's going to hate you forever.
He doesn't have the widow's peak.
And he has every right. Talk about a serious trim. Boy, the French women, man,
Do you know from personal experience, or are you just stereotyping?
need a John Deere lawnmower.
You don't even know.
Yes, I do.
You haven't been outside of the country other than
Listen,
Australia.
I get a lot and read a lot of French porn.
Oh.
Those ladies need to take a bath.
How do you know if they need to take a bath?
They just look dirty.
I've never heard that in my life. So,
Sewing circle?
yeah, to mean a big gossip. I've never heard that.
Ed, have you ever heard the phrase sewing circle
No,
meaning
of
gossip?
course not.
You're such a dick.
My mom told me if it was Colombians rioting in the streets, Miami would have been bombed by now. Okay, that's all I want to say.
All right. Hey, Mark, you're on the air with Tara and Wayne.
And my mom told me always
Yeah,
tip
hello.
at the whorehouses.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
We sure can.
She was going to pay him $25,000 to get her pregnant.
Uh-huh.
I want 50.
Sorry. See, you have to negotiate beforehand.
That was a lot of work, you know. You got pork fry rice? All right.
Pick it up there.
Thank
Okay,
you.
get us price.
I didn't know you lived with anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have to put up with every day.
There you go. Tara and Wayne show. What is it? When did we start that? I think it was late 99 to late 2001, something like that. It wasn't long. We were part of the list of where there was a bunch of shows on WIOD or INZ because they flipped it, where as soon as right after they won an air award, they got fired. We got fired off the air, our show, but I still had my production gig that I was doing before we split and left for Nashville. But Sieg Heil, that was a fun show that we did. That was fun. And there were obviously a lot of great moments. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Just wanted to prove to you that there was a reason we won that motherfucking award. That wasn't what was submitted. But there were some great stuff, especially with Ed. That was good with Ed. He was a really fun producer. Yeah, he went with the bit really good. Even though before I wouldn't. One of the reasons why we liked him because I didn't have to tell him. I was like, man, he knows how to go with the bit. He really is. He's a good fucking producer. I had to learn. Bennington, I still remember Bennington. Ron. Batman. Go with the bit. First 5 times I heard that, had no idea what he meant. Clueless cunt. Because I was still just going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm working with Ron. I was a fan. Now I'm working with them. I'm pushing buttons. I'm on the air. I'm doing voices. I'm making promos. Half the time. That's why I couldn't talk when they put me on the air like unless I was doing a voice. Unless I was doing Ace. Or I was doing Mike Tyson. Hey guys, how you doing? I want to kick this guy in the can. I'm gonna kick him in the can. 1997. I can't believe I threw those fucking tapes away. What a douchebag. What a douchebag Batman is. Surprising, isn't it? Not when you come around here, Pansy Sisters. What? Let's remove that from the studio so we don't actually hit it accidentally. Not actually, you stupid twat. So remove that. That was fun, right? That was a good 4 minutes, and killed a good 4 minutes while I peed. Whew. And by the way, I did a little research while I was peeing. See, I know how to multitask. And I don't even make money doing this. So, yet. So, I only want a little. So, the restaurant I was trying to think of earlier with Carlos, who would make fun of me. He would make fun of me because it's El Compadre. And he'd go, whenever he'd look at me, he'd go, El Compadre. He'd do this white thing, kind of like the Eddie Murphy doing the white voice. Oh, that's peculiar. El Compadre. Like, what? It's El Compadre. What the fuck, dude? And the cool thing about Carlos, that guy, this was funny, speaking of Juan, Juan's parents, like I think I told the story, and we talked about it, where I called Juan's house once back when we were in radio school in '94. I don't remember what it was about. I called him, leave a message, and I'm talking to people that don't speak any English, and he never got the message, or he did, but he just knew that a cracker called. All those years in the States, never learned fucking English. Carlos, when I met him and started working with him, He'd only been in the States 7 months. He knew no English when he got here. He learned it mostly from watching TV. And I was like, what are you, a fucking mermaid? It sounded like the movie Splash. He's like, no, I know. I learned most of it from TV. Let's watch El Compadre. Fuck you, cunt. Hey, let's scare somebody. Hey, let's go give somebody a mild heart attack. While you make fun of me in my speech, you fucking Brazilian twat, you motherfucker. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I love that guy. He was so fucking funny.
Yeah, but you like him, but what about all the other Brazilians?
I love them all. Brazil, Jesus Christ. You ever see those fucking thong asses? Bing dong. What is that sound? Did you hear that? That's some weird shit. Mm-hmm. That's some weird shit. Oh, I'm rewatching Carnival because, I don't know, that might be a little hint on who might be a guest soon on the whip. Did you say Carnival? Yeah, I said Carnival. Man, just think about that show as an actor and where they were working constantly every day. Because I did a few days on a movie like that, in a set like that, where it was out in the dust, in the prairie, whatever, like it was supposed to be in the 20s, 30s. No, actually, it was supposed to be the early 1900s. But every day, I did 3 days. 3 days. Saving Mr. Banks. Right? That's the movie, right? Right. You can see me there. You can see me in it, actually. Just an extra work. And it was just because it was going to be more than 1 day. And there was a whole bunch of extra money because of where we did it and the whole thing with the clothes and all this stuff. There was a bunch of extra. And I'm like, well, 3 days? Fuck yeah, I'll do that. Normally, I wouldn't do extra work. I only did it a handful of times. Early days, yeah, but afterwards, didn't do it much. You've seen a reel of mine. I'm an actor. I'm a fucking actor. Anyway, I'm thinking about even the extras when I'm watching that show, because a lot of people are. It's such a huge cast, and then all the extras from all the people at the carnivals and all the extras, and all the towns that they go to, all the different things. I mean, such a loaded cast, and it was supposed to be like the Dust Bowl, so they got paid extra money for that stuff just to have for the conditions and stuff. But oh my God, just rewatching it was so long ago, and the way I watched it the first time was kind of spotty because it was like I'd go like now how with Netflix and HBO Max and what's the other one? Disney, which I won't do anymore. But when I don't have Netflix anymore. I only do Netflix like 2 months out of the year. I used to do the same thing with Disney. I ain't doing it ever again. I ain't doing it. Fuck them. Like HBO Max is the only one I have right now. But back in the day, that's how I used to be with my cable. Where sometimes I'd have HBO, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I could afford it back when Carnival was on. Sometimes I couldn't. So I'd like catch up. I'd see some, and then I'd catch up. So it was a weird way I watched it back then. So to catch up now, and to be reminded of so much of that stuff, especially after working in those kind of conditions, and then rewatch, and then seeing it again. But man, Stumpy, Voss? No, it's not Voss. What's the actor's name that plays Stumpy? He's so fucking funny. Everybody's great. But, oh my God, is he fucking funny. And that I was reminded, and I actually had to text somebody about being reminded of the one scene in season 2 where there's an elephant, where he's pissing, and then all of a sudden there's an elephant beside him. He's like, good God. Hi, elephant. How you doing? I mean, the elephant's literally, he's got his trunk in his face while he's trying to take a piss. It's so funny. I howled again. I remember howling almost 20 fucking years ago. The first time I saw it. Around 15, 20 years ago. Oh my God, so funny. How you doing? It's an elephant. Oh my God, it's funny. So that's not in the notes. But it's okay. Because, we got 15 minutes left. So we got the blah, blah, we got the demo, we did, The elephant we were going to talk. Oh, Jensen fucking Ackles. Jensen fucking Ackles. I can play that, can't I? I can play that. I think I have that. Let's pull that fucking video up. I can pull that because it's quick. It's not a full thing. It's a quick piece. It's from my reel. It's all it is. And if let's pretend I'm talking over it, but you can literally obviously see. Whoa, there's me with my flavor saver, which kicks fucking ass. It kicked that. Oh, Oscar nominee, multi-Oscar nominee, and then the dude that everybody fucking loves, Mr. Jensen fucking Ackles. Oh, he just threw me into the goddamn fucking sterile. What a prick. I'm kidding. He was fucking totally awesome. He was super fucking cool. And I knew him because of Days of Our Lives, because my mom was a fan of Days of Our Lives, so I knew Days of Our Lives. I'd watched it, and then I'd known that he'd won, daytime Emmys and stuff, and making his move into regular TV and all that stuff. Me and Andrew, we sat there and shot the shit with him a bunch between takes, especially when new setups were, being put up, and we were all sitting in one room because it was a real house that we were in. Well, it's not obvious, but that's a real house. Big house in North Carolina. Wilmington? Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I just have realized I don't follow the fucking guy. I don't look for Jensen Ackles on Twitter. And I'm hardly ever really on Twitter. It's maybe an hour a day total. 10 minutes at a time here and there. 5 minutes at a time, if that. Usually at this point now, it's like a minute and a half. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But anyway, that motherfucker, I swear to God, he has trended more often in the last 5 years that I've been on Twitter. I guess it is 5, 6. He's trended more than fucking the Orange guy and Alex Jones put together. Like every other day. And it's a constant. So I've got this running joke on Facebook and Twitter. Nobody really gets it. They probably think I'm just, he's just putting his thing out there. No, it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. Oh, he's trending. Well, it's because of me. It's not because of me at all. Of course, I know that. These fucking people who don't realize my self-awareness. You're not in on a joke. It's kind of like people that don't know what the fuck's going on with the old Phil Henry show. Don't get in the light so much because it changes. Stay there. Wait, what? That's for the on-camera, the people who are watching, not listening. Did I ever tell you the listening part is much more fun? But you miss out on all the nice little pictures that I show. Because it's a nice extra element to the whip. So we got that. That was really neat to see, wasn't it? If you hadn't seen it before, that's just a little piece of the scene. There's a bunch before that, before Jensen even comes in. I clipped it just to where Jensen comes into the scene. There's a whole bunch of dialogue between me and Michelle before that. And I'm in a scene before that where I don't really say anything. It's all Busy Phillips doing most of the talking. And Michelle trying to keep her from doing what she's doing while we're just observing. That was where I would do the Rodney Rude stuff between takes. And Rodney Rude, my sister had this friend who had a baby. Anyway, just to show, because there's people who think, oh, you talk about you're on Dawson's Creek, you're just an extra. Extras don't have lines. Extras don't have dialogue. You've people that don't understand. And I'm not fucking, whatever. It was a show I did. It was like, wow, it still blows me away that I did that fucking show. And the cool part about it with going and seeing my cousin after auditioning for it, because he lived in North Carolina. I hadn't seen him in a decade. It's kind of like I put two and two, it was like it was a bonus. And then but still, I was like, so fucking, you could sort of tell on the thing. I talked about it with Juan, where Juan kept backing away and he could not stay, near his phone, where the sound kept changing as he got back farther, and then he would talk louder. And I kept saying that, yeah, I know the feeling, because it's kind of like that, because when I shot that, it's supposed to be a party. So when we actually shot that, all the sound that you heard when I'm not talking over it, if you actually see it it's on Amazon. Final season, episode 4, Instant Karma. Of course, in the scene, it's at a party, so you hear a bunch of people talking, you hear music. So that's why Michelle's kind of talking loud, and that's the only direction I got that I couldn't do. I couldn't do it. I'd never tried to do it like, oh, it's silent right now, but it's supposed to be really loud, and I could not deliver my lines like that, like I was supposed to. That's why I'm like talking normal. While she's like this and he's like that, they're doing it right. And because I was so worried, I was so worried about overacting, I underacted. But at least underacting is better than overacting, that's for sure. I got a little bit of it right. Oh my God, we got 9 minutes left. What are we doing here? So, but yeah, if you're on Twitter, have you ever noticed? I don't follow the fucking guy. I only follow like 100 and, I don't know, it's not like 200, not even 200 people. I don't even follow the guy, but just if I'm on my laptop and I see the trending's always there, like every other day, there's Jensen. Like, Jesus Christ, you go in, it's never anything negative. It's all love. Like at most, you go into anything else that's trending, you go in there and you'll see love, love, hate, hate, love, 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 hate, 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 hate. Or you'll just see hate, or you never see love, 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 love. Almost never, unless it's an older person's name that all of a sudden is trending, like if Willie's trending, like, oh shit, people, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, I thought he was dead, oh, I thought he was dead, thank God he's not, that's all it is. Sometimes, but like trending, and then if it's not Jensen himself, it's fucking Supernatural that's trending, so it's still Jensen trending. It's fucking silly. Or it's the boys trending because he's on the boy. It's because he's part of it. It's fucking crazy, but it's all because of what you just saw or listened to as I was talking. That's really what it was. That was the jump. That was the real jump. That was where it really started. Instant Karma, seasons 5 or 6. The last season of Dawson's Creek, episode 4. That's where it all started for Jensen, man. That's right, because he worked with 2 maniacs, because Andrew, the other guy in the scene that was supposed to be my buddy, who was upstairs with Busy, hitting on Busy while I was hitting on Michelle, dude was from Scarborough, Maine. Both fucking maniacs. Ended up cast together in North Carolina, where another maniac, my cousin, lived, who I got to visit after a decade. So the Trinity. Boom. See? Synchronicities. It's all about, that's what we do here. How many minutes left? Oh, and speaking of Nashville, I could finally tell the Nashville story. My buddy, we'll call him Sven, because we haven't talked in a while, and I don't know if he wants his name mentioned, but somebody I worked with in radio, went to the same school. His instructor was Red Puddinhead as well, Mr. Gaynor, and I was his backup on a show that he produced at night, and we used to celebrate our birthdays together because we were 3 days apart. Like 3 years in a row at the Billabong, we celebrated our birthdays together and had little get-togethers, kind of like the Australian thing that Andrea taught me that I learned in Australia with her. Her friends did. That's what they would do. Any birthdays were like, their group, like 3 girls in April. Well, let's all rent out a pub. We didn't rent out the Billabong, but that's where we hung out. Did a lot. So after we moved to Nashville because of Tara having her gig at CMT, Sven said, "Hey, dude, I got a vacation coming up. I've never been to Nashville. I'm gonna come up there. And, hey, we can go to the." And we went. He didn't stay at the house. He stayed in a hotel not far from the house, and went to the Jack Daniel's distillery to learn. Didn't realize that we can't even buy any here. We can't even drink it. All we can do is just they do this thing at the top of the things, the big barrels there, and you can burn your nostrils smelling that shit. Fucking crazy. But you couldn't the dry county stuff. Anyway, so we did all that. We did that shit. Like, you really want to come up here? So yeah, he did. So we did that, and then it was one day where and my sister was staying with us, and we met at my sister and my ex-wife and the kids were in one car. They met us at this place to eat. We had wings. I had 2 beers. I don't even think I finished the second one. And they got in their car and they were leaving. We Sven and I were gonna go just a couple of places. I'm gonna show them a couple of places right around, not too far. Have a couple beers, maybe play some pool. And so they laid, bye. See you in a bit. Drive away, not realizing I got a headlight out. And we get pulled over like not even a mile down the road. And fucking cop actually wanted to search the truck. I'm like, no. I told him, I said, I just had a beer and a half at Tootsie's with a whole bunch of food, but no, I'm fine. We're just going over here. Well, all right, but we're going to go home now, realizing that, didn't realize I had a headlight out. Thanks for showing us, but he was all suspicious, fucking weird. And Sven and I were like, yeah, that was kind of weird. But so go to my place, get my wife's vehicle, tell them what happened. All right, whatever, see ya. Use hers. We go back out. Go to one place, have a few beers. It was all right, kind of boring. I think we played a couple games of pool, but then we got sick of it. Everything was really shitty. So then on the way back to his hotel, there was another one that had a bar inside it that I'd heard that was pretty cool. So we go in there, realize, but it's a sports bar, and it wasn't bad, but it was pretty dead. It was Sunday night, and it was the first night of baseball season in 2002. 22, yeah, it was 22 or 03. Might have been 03. Anyway, we like went, and Sven, he starts playing the video game thing at the bar, and it's a pretty big bar, and it's quiet, and the only other people are a couple, and they're drinking. They're doing shots. They got a pitcher, doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm still pretty sober because we didn't have much at the other place. But Sven's had a bunch, and but we're cool. We're pretty sober. Anyway, sitting there, blah blah blah. I'm mainly watching baseball while he's playing the video game, and I looked down the bar as somebody had walked in, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, look down the bar. And he goes over, this guy that came in and goes over to the couple like he knows them, and he's talking to them. I'm like, that's the fucking cop that pulled us over. He says, gets a shot, does a shot with them. He's still in uniform. And I go, dude, can you fucking believe this shit? Now what do we do? And I'm kind of like doing, kind of my facing the other way, trying to, like, so he doesn't see us. And then Sven goes, hey, he kind of leans forward, goes, hey, you off duty yet? I go, oh, fuck. I look over, he looks at us, and he's looking, and he's like, huh? And then he realizes, oh, recognizes us. I'm like, do a shot with us? And I'm like, oh my God, oh fuck, we're so fucked. Now I'm getting paranoid, fucking driving home, which is not far at all. His hotel is across the street, and my house is not even a mile away. And but I'm paranoid as fuck. He ends up leaving. I'm like, I'm staying. We're staying here for a while. We know that he just leaves. Whatever. Anyway, we start talking to the couple. Turns out, guess what the couple is? Obviously, have you figured it out? The dude from the couple is a cop. And we start telling him the story because we closed the place. The four of us closed a few other people came in after a bit, but the four of us closed the fucking place. And as we're leaving, or before we left, but we told him what had happened. He's like, don't worry about anything. The drug, the DUI thing, that's going on the other side of town. You guys are fine. We know what's going on. They're way drunker than us, and they drove home. Both of them, way drunker. I wasn't even drunk really, because I tapered off and realizing, oh shit, I was paranoid. Anyway, that's the Nashville cop story. Made it home safely, and Sven made it back to Florida safely, and it was a nice visit because he'd never seen Nashville, and now he had, and I gave that to him. So there you have it. Watch the James Corbett Report, Jimmy Dore Show, Russell Brand, Kim Iverson, Revolutionary Blackout Network, and others. But look for yourself. Just a fun babbling lecture. Obviously, Dabbler. Remember, All Neo, AKA 1. Sorry, ran long. Had to bump comedian Erica Rhodes again. Thanks, Gary. Daddy loves you. Messing with my peoples. That's a good one. Say goodbye. My mouth was open.